So I keep having this thought in the back of my mind lately, like, why doesn't this feel like enough? Like nothing's wrong, kids are fine, we're doing normal summer things, but there's this quiet pressure that it's supposed to feel more special than it does. And I don't even know where that came from, but it's kind of exhausting. So if you've felt that too, we need to talk.
I can foresee myself being that person, that mom, that, the kids are home like, yes, let's do all the fun things.
Yeah. Wow. And it's kind of like what I talked about with like the weekends, like your life doesn't pause for the summer, but the expectation kind of does.
I think there is a narrative out there that tells us that we can do it all. And I think we need to ignore that narrative altogether or shut it down.
If you want it to feel like you're wasting your summer, then act like that. But, just wake up and be like, I don't know what we're doing today. Isn't that fun? I can't even believe I was able to say that. That's not fun to me. I need to know what I'm doing.
Welcome to What Even Is This, the podcast where we acknowledge that life's a mess, so let's talk about it. I'm your host, Jane Dorman, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, Jordan Johnstone. What's going on, Jordan?
Apparently I'm evaluating the emotional quality of our summer in real time, which is, feels very healthy, which I am not.
Very sustainable. Yes, very sustainable for sure, Jordan.
Oh, for sure. And I, highly, highly recommend overthinking the vibe of your own life. It's a fantastic experience.
Yeah, well, honestly, though, Jordan, I think what you said in our hook for today, that feeling of why doesn't this feel like enough? Mm-hmm. Gosh, I think that's just hitting something really real in all of us today.
Yeah, because it's, not like things are going badly.
Right. It's just that they're just not matching the expectation that we didn't even realize that we had.
Exactly. So, somewhere along the way, summer became this thing that's supposed to feel like extra meaningful, which, okay, great. That's a good goal,
Yeah. Well, and I don't know about you, Jordan, but for me, if it doesn't feel great, then you kind of start to question it, right? Like it's this vicious cycle.
Yeah. You question it or you question yourself.
Yeah, it's unreal. But listeners, today we are talking about the pressure to make summer feel magical and why that pressure is just so exhausting for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, exhausting. And I would also argue maybe unnecessary.
For sure. Well, Jordan, before we dive into this spiral of figuring out summer magical moments or the pressure to do so, I think we need to play a little Survivor Skip. Are you game?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so friends, if this is the first time you're joining us, Survivor Skip, basically I'm going to be reading some scenarios to Jordan, and we're going to get her hot take on whether she thinks this is something we need to survive or skip this summer. And maybe I'll give my 2 cents here and there as we go down the list. So, I just can't help myself sometimes.
We'll ping pong it a little bit. It's fine.
Exactly. So, Jordan, Survivor Skip. Turning an ordinary Saturday into a core memory.
Here's the thing. Maybe every once in a while, not every Saturday, but maybe like a Saturday a month of summer. Maybe we try to do something.
Okay. What would that something be for your family?
Mildly survive. I don't know. I'm trying to think of.
Real.
Well, I mean, because unfortunately, we don't live near a pool. We don't have the typical summer things. So I was gonna say, go to the pool, but then somebody's like, wait, that's a core memory. That's lame. But we just
not necessarily.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that like a pool day.
A pool day, yeah. My kids live for pool days for sure during the summer. Okay, well, this is a little bit similar, but what about the pressure to make emphasis on every weekend feel special? Survivor Skip it.
Yeah, skip, because the weekend the weekend is meant to be a relaxing time. And yes, even in the summertime when you haven't had a school week before it, honestly, I feel like the weekend is even more important during the summer because it's like this one thing that hasn't changed with your schedule.
Yeah, this is true.
Weekend's still the weekend. Weekend's still there. So I sound like a terrible person. Skip.
No, skip. Skip it all. Skip it all.
Yeah.
All right, what about Survivor Skip Pinterest-worthy backyard fun? I've got some thoughts on this.
Yeah, skip.
Skip.
Skip, but this is why I am like one of the least outdoorsy people you will ever meet.
Okay.
We also live in the land of like gargantuan mosquitoes, so
Oh, yuck.
no.
No. No.
How about you?
I'll tell you what, I would skip it as well, Jordan. I've tried, and I think it's more of the times I've tried, I have failed more
Yeah.
than actually succeeded at the Pinterest project. Like,
Oh yeah.
liquid chalk one year, because I saw a friend do it and post about it online, and it was great. And she showed these cool drawings that they made with this liquid chalk squirting.
Yeah.
I gave it to my boys, and they just squirted each other with it, and it ended in 60 seconds. And I said, this was supposed to be our afternoon activity. It's not
Yeah.
happening. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
No.
I give up. I give
Yep.
up. What about Survivor Skip curated family movie night with snacks and setup? What do you think about that?
You know what? That one's survive. I actually think I'd be down for that. I think it would give something to work toward, something to look forward to. It's relatively, I mean, depending on how all into it you go, it's relatively low effort, like low bar of entry. So, survive. I think I could do that.
Are you the type of family that would put out like a sheet in the backyard with the projector?
No,
or you're like, no,
no.
keep it indoors. The mosquitoes,
Mosquitoes.
James. The mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Yeah. No.
No, I agree with you. I would certainly be down for that as well.
Yeah.
We love a good family movie night in our house, and we like it indoors too. So,
Oh, yeah.
what about this one? Made me laugh. Survivor Skip turning popsicles into an experience. I don't know what that means, but
I think it's those lovely little Instagram reels or whatever that you'll see of like the mom perfectly dicing up like the fresh fruit and they're dropping into the little molds and all that junk.
yeah.
No, skip. But this is again another. I'm exposing how I am. I can't do messy food, and it's not even like I'm the one eating it. Like, no, I'm not going to eat it either. But something with kids, and maybe not so much my son anymore. He's a little older, but like my daughter is 6, so she still can get a little messy. So if I just don't buy it, she doesn't know what she's missing out on. So I'm not going to make it either. So
no judgment. No judgment.
No, yeah, we don't. Well, and like I grew up, we didn't eat a lot of anything with like spaghetti sauce or like sauce in general, because there were like, I actually don't even know this was happening when there was then finally 7 total kids in my family. But even back when there was like 4 or 5, we just never would do that because my mom didn't want to deal with the mess. And like, I get it, you know, so.
I hear you. And again, popsicles that are an experience, when you bring that up, it brought to mind all the failures that I've experienced trying to do that. So I would skip it as well. What about Survivor Skip, Jordan, feeling like boredom means you failed the vibe?
Nope. Skip. No, boredom's
Skip
good.
it.
Boredom is good. That is
It
what
is.
children need more of, to be honest.
Yep, it's a foundation for creativity, right?
It is.
So,
It is.
yep, I totally agree. What about asking yourself whether this day was special enough, Survivor Skip?
Oh, I mean, obviously skip, but it's gonna. If it sounds so mean, if you're a good parent, you're gonna deal with it anyway. So I would say skip, but we know that more than likely you're gonna sit there and wallow in was this special enough. So I would encourage you to skip it, but And maybe also have a way to survive it.
Exactly. Oh, man. And our last one, Jordan, planning a magical moment that no one reacts to correctly. Survive or skip. I think I know what your answer is going to be. So bonus points if you can give us an example of that.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little confused by this one because why would you plan something that you know that nobody's going to react to correctly?
Well, I think, like, okay, so, like, for example, I'll start off with an example then. So for this one, so, like, a thing that our family does regularly during the summers, we go to the local the local amusement park here in Cincinnati. It's Kings Island. We have passes, we have drink plans, we have food plans, and we don't. Well, that's a lie. We do kind of go every weekend, so it does get quote old for the kids after a while. But there have been times, like where we go, and it's like it's like a special weekend. Like they'll have like, I forget what they call it, but it's kind of like a Mardi Gras vibe where there's, they have like food festivals and a parade. And like, there are just some days, it's always Christmas. Honestly, it's always the Christmas time when we go. And all three of my kids have foul moods the whole time they're there. And like, I remember one time my middle child turning to me and he was in a mood and he looked at me and he's like, what is even the purpose of us being here right now? And I was beside myself because I said, so we can have fun as a family and you're gonna like it. And they're like, oh, I hate this, And so it's stuff like there's good intentions. Like we typically like this, but for whatever reason, there's a day or two where everything gets derailed. And we've started doing this thing now when that day inevitably shows up where we go, let's name our greatest regret that we've experienced today. I'll go first, Most likely
you brat somewhere.
Yep, I regret taking you boys somewhere.
Yep.
So, but Jordan, I really appreciated you indulging me in this game that Survivor Skip, because I think all these scenarios and certainly many more, it's relatable, right? We feel this pressure sometimes as moms, working moms, whatever, going into the summer months. There's just like this air of playfulness during the summer and like this expectation, like we're going to have so much fun and school's out and when what have you. And I just, that's just certainly not the reality sometimes. And this pressure to make summer magical, like, gosh, I think somewhere along the line, we need to learn how to release that and accept, like, this is our life. This is our reality. And how can we show up well in it? So I don't know. I think we've just been circling around this idea that summer isn't just something we're living through.
Yeah. It's more like something that we're kind of evaluating while we're in it.
Yeah, like there's this quiet pressure to make it feel meaningful enough to count. I don't know if that is too messed up, but like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I feel that, and so I think, we actually took this question to some women in our community and in our circles. And we got some really fun responses.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this. Our summer survival voices here to encourage us and remind us that we're not alone in the chaos and the pressure of it all. And this group of ladies who submitted their responses, we asked them this question. When does the pressure to make summer magical hit you the most?
Yeah, and that was a good question. And honestly, the responses were like really telling. So it needed to be asked.
So it needed to be asked. I think you're going to find these responses relatable. So we're going to go ahead and tease up the first one. This is from Sabrina in Ohio. And Sabrina, I felt was pretty authentic with her response to this question. Let's give it a listen.
The pressure to make summer feel magical hits me most when I see all four of my precious daughters are wrestling with each other and leaving my front door open while the AC is on, screaming I'm bored on their first day of summer break.
So, wow, Jordan. Okay, Sabrina, all I got to say, girl, relatable. I don't know about you. Like,
Yeah.
what's it like for you the first day of summer break, Jordan?
What's that word? Discombobulating? That might be really wrong.
That's a good
But,
word.
Yeah. I mean, okay, no, I won't be all negative. It is disorienting. Maybe that's a better word.
Ooh, I like that
It
one
is
too.
disorienting and discombobulating and whatever other words you want me to say. But it is also fun. Like I think I said in episode 1 of the series, like I really, I'm not going to sit here and be negative about the whole summer. Like I will acknowledge that, yes, the first day of summer is nice because you're not waking up for carpool and you're not waking up at 5:30 and making lunches and all those things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's okay. The AC thing though, man, that got me. I'm not looking forward to. The double power bills. No, thank you. Yeah.
We've been we've crafted a whole house fan for our house right now while it
Nice.
To kind of cut down on those costs. But come July, it's going to be hot, and I'm going to be like, screw this.
Yeah.
Get the AC back on and close the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, well, that was Sabrina. This next one is from Megan in Indiana, and she's sharing something that I think is very real for all of us when we kind of sit back and reflect. So let's listen to what Megan has to say.
The pressure to make summer feel magical hits me most when I hear and see all the fun, summery things that other families are doing. It is in the comparison that I feel the most pressure to plan the trips, fill the days, and make every moment fun and special.
Yeah, comparison. That was the big word. That was the key word, comparison. And I know that we talked about that in episode 1, where I think there is this just unfair pressure around summer because we are able to compare so easily to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, I feel it too. And I don't know. I think sometimes when I get into that wacky headspace, I've really got to set margin or boundaries around those things that trigger that in me. So I'm talking social media. I'm talking, I don't know, just listening to other people share their plans and like learning to be joyful for them and realize what we have planned is enough as well. And also I get so easily tangled into that mindset.
Yeah.
So,
and I think too, if you're able to let's make you a little summer goal here. If you're able to, by the end of summer, not be falling into this trap of comparison, that will serve you well because your entire life is going to be full of that. It's not just a summer thing. So I think that's just a life skill. Like it's a summer life skill that you can learn. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, Jordan, this next summer survival voice comes from Robin in Virginia. And Robin, yes, her kids are actually like older, like college age, like almost launched into the world.
Yeah,
Robin is actually a mutual friend of Jordan and I.
Yeah.
And I just have repeated memories of her saying all the time, like, I thought when my kids went out into the world, like parenting was done, but no, it changes and you parent in a whole different way. And so she's blazing the trail for all of us friends. So I really appreciated what she had to share here in this summer survival voice.
The pressure to make summer feel magical hits me most when everyone is home together. My kids are both in college now, so between classes, internships, and summer schedules, I feel the pressure to make every moment when we are all under the same roof special. I try to make everyone's favorite home-cooked meal, plan fun activities for us to do as a family, and get as much quality time in as possible. It ends up leaving me exhausted, and my kids don't get to just relax at the place that I want them to feel at home.
I mean, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That I can foresee myself being that person, that mom, that, the kids are home, like, yes, let's do all the fun things. that we can together, but also making space, the challenge to make space to just relax and, be together, right? I don't know. I think there's a lot of wisdom in what Robin shared and just the insight that she had, because I don't know, we want everything to be so special when we're together, and just kind of realizing that we may not all be under the same roof one day. We won't, or the goal is to raise them up and launch them into society. And I don't know.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think kind of, I guess, like what you just said, like it did just kind of hit me of like, oh, so we don't outgrow this. This is going to keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it helps to know that we're not in it alone. And
Exactly.
and Robin, thank you for sharing with us, for sure. Well, Jordan, our last summer survival voice is another mom, a friend of mine here in Ohio. Her name is Erin, and she also has older kids that are starting to go into college or older teenagers. So, and I thought what she had to share kind of was like a gut check for me. So here is Erin from Ohio.
And the pressure to make summer feel magical hits me most when I realize how few summers I have remaining with my young adult and teenage kids still at home.
Man, why? Yeah. Okay. So this.
Yes.
Yeah. And again, this is a thing I think about, not even just in summertime, but you can spiral real easy with thoughts like this. So yes, you don't have very many, but don't let that. This is kind of what I've pieced together from seeing other people on social media talk about this. It's okay to acknowledge that, but don't let it drive it, I think is kind of like the underlying theme of, because if that's all you're thinking about, then that's all you're going to focus on. And then you're going to waste the time that you're worrying about not having enough of. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I get it. I get it though. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a way to be cognizant of it. Like Erin shared here.
Yeah.
And I think being cognizant of it is an opportunity, an invitation to be intentional with the time that you do have, right? And instead of like, oh, we're slogging through the workday, and then if I have a chance to spend some time with you, maybe I will, or not do it at all. Like, what would it look like to be intentional, like with your calendar, to be like, okay, let's pick out a day or two in June, July, August, the time that we have together to make some special memories together, whether it's a girls' day or a siblings' day or whatever that looks like. A day at Kings Island for us. I don't know. It's just, I think there is, to your point, don't obsess over it. And also there's opportunity for intentionality there that I think is what she's pointing to. So, Erin, we appreciate you sharing that and getting us in our feels here. All the ladies that have contributed to Summer Survival Voices, thank you so much for just being vulnerable and making us feel less alone in this wrestling match that we're having with this pressure to make summer magical. Because, fun side note, all these women who shared are working women. Like, they could work outside the home.
Yeah.
Every woman, okay, don't at me, but every woman is a working woman, whether they're full-time stay at home or work outside the home. But this list especially was curated by women who work outside the home. Because I think it speaks to a pain point, I think, and I think hearing all of these responses really clarifies something for all of us. Yeah, it's like this pressure to make summer feel magical doesn't stay contained in just the fun stuff.
No. It follows you, right? Like, it follows you literally everywhere.
Yeah, and I think for working moms especially, it starts to hit a really specific tension,
Yeah. Wow. And it's kind of like what I talk about with like the weekends. Like, your life doesn't pause for the summer, but the expectation kind of does, I guess. So
Yeah, exactly. So you're trying to hold on to normal life, your work, and also this idea that summer's supposed to feel more meaningful, or I don't know what it is, but like whatever summer is, it's got it, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got this
Well,
pull. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and I think holding on to that, it's supposed to be meaningful. Like, well, when it's not, like that's when the guilt shows up. So don't let it
Exactly.
get to that point.
Yeah, easier
Yeah.
said than done, Jordan.
Yeah.
So I kind of want us to camp out here for a
Okay.
minute, talk
Yeah.
about that part. And to kick things off, I would really be curious to hear from you, like when summer starts, do you feel a shift in what you think you should be doing as a mom, even though your actual work and responsibilities have not changed? Like, what's that
Yeah.
like for you?
Yeah. I think it does. And I think it's because, the work part of your life it stays constant all year unless you're a teacher or, whatever.
Right.
Then you get to have a summer. But, for people that work corporate or whatever jobs, like it's all year. So that part of your life is staying constant. Then the
Sure.
parenting part of your life has like shifts kind of, I feel. So summer is the off time for that. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's tough because, going back to what I said about like the guilt, like this is where the guilt comes in. Of, okay, I'm excelling at my job because I'm keeping that going at the same pace that it was, but what cost, right? Like,
Yeah.
and then you look and it's like, oh, my kids haven't like gotten off their iPads today, or, oh, they haven't gone outside, or, and that's when it starts. That's when the spiraling starts. So for me, I think that's probably the biggest shift that I experience is realizing like something that had been, because I mean, your kids don't disappear from your life during the school year, but
No.
it's a balance, right? And so then when summer comes, the balance is gone. There is no balance. But one half or more of your life is going to keep operating like there is that balance there still. So it's the compensating part, I think, that is tricky.
Yeah. It's very tricky. Very tricky.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question for you. So do
Okay.
you feel like there's this unspoken expectation that working moms should still actually be able to create this magical summer moment filled 2 to 3 months, even with a full workload?
I think there is a narrative out there that
Yeah.
tells us that we can do it all. And I think we need to ignore that narrative
Yeah.
altogether or shut it down because I am
Yeah.
learning, at least through my lived experience, I can't do it all.
No.
And something's got to give.
Mhm.
And when it comes to prioritizing, sure, my family does come first, over my job. God comes before my family or before all of it. And I don't know, it's starting to become a question of stewardship for me. I was really wrestling with that this past year and a half. Lots of life transitions have happened, and just thinking through like all these things that I used to fill my time with to the brim, if you will. Like I didn't have a lot of white space on my calendar.
Yeah.
I kind of felt I was telling my kids over and over, like, not yet, I'm busy, I'm doing this, not yet, type thing. And I had several moments recently where this topic of stewardship came up, in stewardship of dreams and stewardship of purpose and all these things. And the Holy Spirit really kind of got to me saying, hey, guess what? This family that you have was a dream of yours, and is a calling
Yeah.
that we've called you to steward well and parent well. And that kind of like, that got me,
Yeah.
like, and it got my attention. And this season, a lot of things have been stripped off of my plate, not necessarily by my choice, but more situationally. And it's like there's this element of surrender in it. So I think this is just my way of saying, like, we need to push back against this narrative that says that we can do it all. And I keep going back to a woman I interviewed. Her name was Ginger. And we were talking about health, like, and health and wellness and like the decisions we make. But she said something that has just kind of stuck with me through all different situations of life. And it's like, do what you can until you can do what you can't, so don't let the excuses of like, well, I can't, do all these summer activities with my kids. I don't have the time for it, but what can I do? And that changes the framework. It changes the perspective. It's a shift for me where I go, you know what? I can go to Kings Island one Saturday a month with my family, like commit a whole Saturday to, with my family doing that. We also go to Kings Island like every Sunday, but it's more like we go for lunch, we ride a couple rides, and then we go home type deal.
That's cool.
And it's like a shorter thing. We do it after church. But it's stuff like that, like I can't, every weekday I can't make sure the day is filled with fun activities for my kids. But I'm off on Wednesdays and Fridays, so I can be intentional with that time and not necessarily fill up those days, with several activities. But it's like, what are things that we naturally like to do? We like to go to the library. That's like a fun little quiet activity for us. And our library has recently set out fun summer activity type things, and my kids can spend hours at the library like reading books and coloring and playing games with other kids, and it's
free.
And it's free. And it's like it's stuff like that. We can we have access to a pool through my parents. We can go to Gigi's house and do a pool day on one of my days off, and it's free and it's low key and we have fun because we just, I don't know. The pressure has been removed, and because there are things that we can make happen that are like low hanging fruit for us. So it's, that's, so to answer the question, like, yes, I do think there is an unspoken expectation. I think we really need to wrestle with that expectation we have for ourselves and look at the reality of what we can do instead of, wrestling with the guilt that can bring into our lives, because there's certainly things we can do, but again, there takes that intentionality, right? So, but Jordan, I'm curious for you, what do you notice happening internally when your summer does not feel as special as you think it's supposed to? Or, like, where does your brain go to when that gets triggered within you?
I mean, guilt, but I feel like that's a given. Guilt, and I feel like probably a little bit of anger.
Okay.
Or not anger is wrong. Frustration. I would say, this frustration or even maybe even resentment a little bit of like, man, I wish I didn't have to work, or man, I wish I didn't have to, adult today, or, I don't know. So it's probably that. And I think, the guilt part, I do think, especially as my kids get older, I do think there's like this sadness too, kind of a little bit. Like I said, I try to not let myself think about it too much, but there is, you don't get that summer again. So it's, you do, if that means something to you, then that becomes something that you focus on, and then you waste half a summer thinking about the summer that you don't want to waste. So, I think for me, it's, I don't know. I'm not ever going to like ignore it, so I don't have to sit in it, but I do kind of also hope that, I get through the summer just kind of rolling with it, and I think that's summer is supposed to be laid back. It's supposed to be carefree. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
whatever. And, as the mom, the parent, whoever, like you're setting the tone
Yeah.
every day, So if you want it to feel like you're wasting your summer, then act like that. But, just wake up and be like, I don't know what we're doing today. Isn't that fun? Which I can't even believe I was able to say that. That's not fun to me. I need to know what I'm doing. But
That's so
those
funny.
words, I don't know how I force them out of my mouth. But for my kids, it is kind of like, I don't know, you guys can do whatever you want. Kind of thing. Like make the ambiguity a game.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of
Yeah.
where my brain goes.
No, it's very real, Jordan. It's freeing almost to kind of release that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess for you, do you ever feel like you're trying to compensate maybe for being a working mom by making these moments like extra meaningful when you are present? Like for me, I kind of worry that when my kids go back to school, more my son, because he's older and he kind of can ascertain these things now. I worry that he's going to go back to school and everybody's going to be talking about like, oh, we did this, this, and this in the summertime. And he's like, well, I didn't do any of that. And like come to a point where he even maybe starts to resent the fact that like I work or, well, that his mom stays home and they got to do all the like, okay, well, great. Good for that. So I don't know. Like, do you ever feel like you're compensating or you have to compensate?
Yeah, I think where this comes up for me is the different childhood experiences my children have of me. So like when I had my firstborn, I was a full-time stay-at-home mom for like the first 7 years of his life, really. Maybe 8. I'm sorry, 8 years of his life. So he and I, when it was summer, we were doing stuff every single day outside of the house. We had like a group of moms that would meet up at a park because we were kind of like surviving motherhood together. We would, make a point to try and go to the pool, or I think we had a Y pass at the time, so we would try and take advantage of that, and all the things. His second born, similar situation, but now we had another guy in tow, and so he was the baby, but my oldest was like still leading the charge, and like we were doing all these things together. And then you have the third kid, and I was a full-time stay-at-home mom for like a year of her life.
Oh, wow.
And then that's when I got invited back into the workplace, and so like we used to have zoo passes. We go to the zoo now, like maybe once or twice a year, whereas we were going at least once a week with the other two. So like I think overcompensate kind of, because the times we do go to those things where it was like a given for the older two, like I want her to have like these cool experiences. And to your point, like, oh, like my friends have zoo passes. Why don't we have a zoo pass? Or we used to have aquarium passes too, because we have a pretty cool aquarium near us. And that was our indoor activity when it was colder out. And or we needed a reprieve from the heat, we would go to the aquarium. And she's only been like, I think 2 times in her little life. Whereas the boys would have been, I don't know, like in it at least once or twice a week, because it's like, why not? It was like, anyway. Yes, I do. Sometimes that can trigger that within me because I kind of question, like, is she resenting me because of the choices that I make? But then also I'm learning to see the example that I'm modeling for her as a working woman, that she sees her mom leading things and creating things. And she knows that, like, now when she does imaginative play, sometimes I catch her with her little play computer that she has, and she's like, I'm going to work. And she sits there and she pretends she's on a Zoom call like I do. And I think it's just like,
that's cute.
Really sweet because it's just a different experience. And so I'm kind of learning to release that trigger, because I don't think it's her putting that pressure on me. I think it's my own self doing the comparison thing. And and what's hard is I'm comparing within my own family unit. I'm not comparing outside of that, mostly. And anyway, so I'm learning to release that and see the moments, like I said, utilizing my Google Calendar as best as I can to be intentional with the moments that we have with each other, and discovering new things, because they all have different passions too, and want to do different activities, and so it's stretching this mama a little bit just to figure out where those activities are and what would be best. So, but yeah, Jordan, great conversation today about this. It's not like we figured out working mom guilt. I think we can safely say it's there, and we just need to be cognizant of it, intentional with the time that we do have, and figure out what we can do today until we can do what we can't, and maybe not even focus on the can't part, just like what can I do right now? So, but we've talked about the pressure to make summer magical. We've talked about this guilt when it doesn't feel that way. So what are we going to do next, Jordan?
Let's do the opposite of that.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Let's lower the bar a little bit with our lower the bar moment of the week, where we intentionally let go of the idea that summer has to feel elevated to be meaningful.
Yeah, which, doesn't saying that out loud just feel like a massive relief?
It feels like a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yes, relaxation. So, Jordan, what is one thing this week you're officially not trying to make magical anymore?
I'm going to go with bedtime, which is going to sound weird, but
that's good.
Yeah. My kids have developed quite the interesting, I guess, bedtime routine that I'm not going to try to make summer-y or whatever. They get ready for bed, and then my daughter loves, like, number one fan, top 1% probably of views on these videos. Slime videos, ASMR videos, like, she's all about those. So she will come plop her little butt down next to me and go, I want to watch slime videos. I'm like, okay, great.
That's
so we'll
awesome.
do that. And then I want to go cuddle dad. Well, then she goes into our bed and lays down and then falls asleep. And then I have to carry her all the way across the house to go put her in her room. So, and then my son kind of does like a variation of that. He doesn't lay down in our bed, but he'll hear the slime videos, and he'll magically appear and sit there for 10 minutes and like some of them, make fun of the other half of them. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I know some families like, let's go catch fireflies. Let's go. No.
Yeah.
If you see them, sure, go for it. But it's not going to be this, like, I don't know. Some people can get overboard. It's a little crazy.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
I think for me, because I am naturally indoorsy, okay?
Yeah.
I am naturally indoorsy.
Same.
And I am feeling a pull to try and get outside a little bit more, but let's not go crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the pressure to make things magical come into play, because if I'm going to be outside, it's got to be worth it.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm thinking we live on a busy street, so bike riding in like our neighborhood is not really an option, but I can load up my daughter's bike, and there's a park just around the corner from us. They have like a little track. And like,
cool.
we can like just go out, and my daughter is so happy to just ride her bike around the circle. Like, she just wants to ride forever, and she is getting confident now where she will be on the opposite side of the track of me while I'm just walking. And anyway, it's just like, it's very low key, low pressure. Like, let's just go out, and sometimes the boys will join us, and it gives them something to do that's a little bit, I don't know, out of their comfort zone. So I think that's just something that I can do and be intentional about, especially on one of those days where maybe I have spent most of the day indoors editing or, and need to just get a little vitamin D. So I think, and it doesn't have to be a huge colossal plan. It could just simply be taking our bike to the track and just walking it and riding. So. Yeah. And listeners, if you are tuning in and you're hearing this, maybe this is your invitation too.
Yeah. Do what we just did. Pick one thing this week and just stop measuring it against what you think it should feel like.
Yeah. Maybe it's not about making summer magical.
Yeah, but just kind of letting it be as it is. That's fine.
Yes. Yes. Amen. So friends, tell us, what are you lowering the bar on this week? Share it with us on Instagram. You can go to @the_what_even_is_this podcast. That's our handle. It's here on the screen. Or you can email us as well. That should be showing on the screen here as well. We want to hear from you. What are you lowering the bar on this week?
Yeah, we want real life versions, like not the Pinterest versions. We already talked about it. We're skipping to Pinterest this summer.
Yes.
Share with us. And speaking of sharing, if you like what you hear and see, if you're watching, be sure to subscribe, follow our show, help a sister or two out this summer, please. And just be sure to tune in next week. We're wrapping up our summer series with all of the things helping us survive it. And it's going to be what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're leaning on when we finally get a minute to breathe, because summer should be for us too, a little bit, I think. So, and it's to help us not waste, let's not waste these rare, quiet moments wondering what you're supposed to be doing, and just enjoy them.
Because life is messy.
Chaos is real, and none of us have it all figured out.
And that's exactly why we're here, because...
What even is this?